I'm Garrett Bergquist, and joining me today is Jefferson City mayoral candidate Bob Scrivner. So Bob, why are you running for mayor?
Well, because I live in Jefferson City, and there's nothing I would like more than to see Jefferson City grow and prosper.
What do you think is the single biggest issue facing the city?
Well, I think that the flat revenues that we've experienced over the last few years is going to create challenges for funding some of the necessary programs that the city and services that the city provides.
What do you think should be done to fix that?
Well, we are working to try to recruit new businesses to the community. Obviously, new businesses bring new job opportunities and expand payrolls and increase the spending power of the citizens. We're working to increase tourism. We have the MSP, that prison tours, Missouri State Penitentiary prison tours. We are looking towards sports tourism, utilizing some of our facilities in the community to invite sports tournaments and things like that. That brings visitors to the community, and they stay overnight, they eat in our restaurants, they shop with our merchants, and increase our sales tax revenues.
Over the last few months, there's been a fair amount of attention on the problem of abandoned properties in the city. How do you think the city should address that issue?
Well, the city's taken steps. Some would say not quickly enough or not strongly enough, but we do have an ordinance that does require people who own properties to register those properties and pay a monthly charge. They are required to secure the property if it meets the definition of being abandoned. And of course, there are steps of abatement where the city, if the property owner just does not take care of the property, the city can move in and board the property up, cut weeds, do certain things to abate immediate problems. In some cases, even more drastic, where a building is in such disrepair that it's no longer safe and it's a hazard to the neighborhood. The city has actually gone in and demolished buildings. And what we're trying to do is to shift that cost and make sure that when the city actually spends that money, that those costs are then recovered from the property owner, as opposed to the city just having to eat those costs.
A couple of years ago, the City Council considered approving a conference center for Jefferson City. That project ultimately did not pan out. Do you think the city should revisit that idea, and if so, how? Well,
as of right now, there is nothing on the horizon that I'm aware of. But I think that the City Council and members of the City Council and members of the community have indicated that if the right situation came along, a conference center should be reconsidered. There is money that is being collected in a escrow account, if you will, that we've kind of referred to it as a lockbox, where there is lodging tax funds that is being collected and set aside for the purpose of tourism. Of course, there are many that feel that is specifically set aside for a conference center. So I would think that at some point in time, the right project will come along and the city will take action.
What issue do you think is not getting enough attention on the council right now?
That's a good question. That's not one that I'd considered. I don't know if there's anything that I would say is not getting enough attention. I think that, with the council, a lot of times it's almost, I wouldn't say complaint driven, but it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so to speak. I know that we will be considering budgeting before you can almost turn around. It seems like we just approved a budget, but one of the first things that new mayor will be doing will be beginning to work on putting together a budget for next year. So I can't say that there's anything that's not being addressed right now that really needs to be. other than some would say the abandoned building problem needs more focus, I suppose.
There are 6 people running for mayor of this city. In one sentence, why should the voters pick you?
Well, I think I'm a leader. In fact, I don't think I'm a leader, I know I'm a leader. I've been elected twice. You said one sentence, but I've been elected twice as mayor pro tem. I think that shows that my fellow council people believe that I'm a leader. So I'll leave it at that.
Bob Scrivner, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.